Hello, everyone, and welcome to League Review. I'm your host, William, and with me today I have Brian,
Hello.
and Brock's unfortunately still not here. Hurricane stuff and have people at his house and stuff like that. But we had another. I had an okay week. I went 5-5. Brian, you had a decent week at 7-3. Brock
Yeah.
killed it again, so I'm gonna get his predictions before the game started because I really do not want him to lose like his week thing because he's gone 9-1, 8-2, 8-2, 8-2. Like it's been
Good.
really good. He's at 83% pick rate right now, and that's really near impossible to do. You can make a lot of money in Vegas if you're betting on these games. Like seriously. But yeah, let's do our.
Is there an esports book in
There,
Vegas?
I don't know if it's in Vegas, but I know about esports betting. There are certain
Yeah,
websites that are
I know
advertised on
websites.
videos, and I'm just like, I feel like it's too shady. If it wasn't, I just don't trust it. If it wasn't, I might look into it a little more. But I don't know. I'm just too nervous. I feel like it's too fresh of a scene, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so let's talk about game number one, which was SO4 versus Rogue. Rogue started out this game. I thought they were going to do great. I was so happy because picked Rogue to upset SO4. They got that first kill at the Dragon Pit on the Infernal Drake and also secured the Infernal Drake, and then immediately gave up 4 kills the next minute. I think you were talking about this when it happened. Like you're like, oh, did you?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, Rogue just threw, and then from there on, the game really did not get much better whatsoever. This was just ugly. Upset was popping off on the Ezreal. The Lucian Braum lane just did not get any advantages outside of that first blood. They didn't. I don't believe. Oh, I guess Lucian did get a double kill for 16 minutes, but that was his only 2 kills on the game. To be fair, was Hikyu versus Upset, which is probably why I shouldn't have picked this. I think you said that last week, and I was like, maybe you're right. But I believed in Rogue. Rogue does look better, much better this year than they did last year, but this game not so much. With they pretty much lost it off that one fight.
Yeah.
Game number
It
two.
it
Oh,
was that I just want to go back. That was horrible. Like you get all the confidence because you get first blood, and then I think they killed one person, and there was a TP behind them, and they just engaged.
they didn't kill anyone.
Oh, they didn't kill anyone?
No.
No. They almost killed someone overextended with a TP coming in behind that was very visible, I believe, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, and they just were like, "Oh, we got it. We have Olaf early game. We're good." No. We had Olaf, Lucian, Braum. They should have won if you think about just those teams or that just team alone, but they didn't. Next was Splice versus SK. Splice pretty much dominated SK this game. They had the lead the entire time. They were picking up a few kills, but really what it came down to was objectives. They had 2 dragons, a Rift Herald, and 2 towers by like the 14-minute mark, like, and then a third dragon by the 16-minute mark. So they were picking up dragons like every time they were spawning from the very beginning of the game. So not only did they have a nice Infernal, they also had 2 Ocean Drakes to keep them healthy in the early game. Really helpful for Azir and Karma for their poke, especially when there's not too much sustain on the side of SK and there's not too much tanking really either. SK did bring out the new Rise. It was the first time we'd seen the new Rise. I thought he played okay, Sakurai. I
Yeah.
didn't think that he played too bad. He didn't get any kills, but he went 0-1. It's kind of hard to get kills against Karma and Lane. Karma and Lane is just obnoxious, just tons of shields and just well played team fighting by Splice there, and it was a 37-minute game. So they closed it out right as they hit that 35-minute mark. Classic Splice. They're back to what they're doing, and that's taking very slow games and winning. And to be fair, so is Gen G right now. So maybe that's going to be the new meta, slowing the game down. I don't think so, but a few teams are succeeding with it at the moment. G2 versus Misfits. G2 was very salty about not being able to play Kiana or Mordekaiser, so they took all of their wrath out on Misfits and then just beat them into a pulp. Linder,
Yeah.
oh man, oh my god,
Leader.
Leader. I want to say Linder, but I'm like, there's no N in there. Leader is had a very rough start to his career in professional play. I you can't blame them too much because Misfits is a complete mess as an organization, and that is why, as of this week, they are benching Soaz, Max Lore, Hansama, Febvin, and Gorilla to their academy team, and just bringing the entire academy team up. And they're currently what 2 and well, spoiler alert, they're 2-6. They didn't win at all this week, but they just look bad in like every single game. It's not good. It's not good at all.
No. With the roster like that, you would expect
Yeah.
minimum fourth.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Minimum. You have all the all stars on or like superstars on your team, and they're just not working together whatsoever. You have Soaz tweeting out, I believe, that he is done with Misfits organization and that possibly going to a different region. People were speculating NA, but I doubt it because I think he doesn't like NA
I
too
think
much.
that's funny, but the money talks.
Yeah, money does talk. That is true. Can you imagine if it's Optic and Optic like gets Asta instead of Arrow in the bot lane and then just keeps Crown? That would improve that team vastly, I think. But
Yeah.
but I think that either he's going to different or he might just be. He said like see you guys at Worlds in 2020 or something like that on his for all of his friends in the EU or something like that. So I don't know if that meant he's joining another EU team next year or if he's like hopping on now or something. I don't know. But he's done with Misfits. There's rumors and speculation, especially with Rush's stream, that Gorilla is heading back to Korea. He's done with Misfits. The whole roster did not work out. The superstar package did not work out whatsoever. It's gonna cost all that money that they spent for this superstar lineup is gonna come with two missing playoffs and 2 splits straight. Nothing.
Yeah, so I know that they have franchising now, right? As
Mhm.
of this past spring.
Yes.
Do you think Misfits stays or do you think they sell their spot?
Uh,
I think you got to sell your spot to kind of recoup the major losses.
I guess we don't know how much money they spent on the team, but like, yeah, I if they sell their spot, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think they will, but I wouldn't be surprised type situation. It's not necessarily they seem more invested in the league than say like Clutch was and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's why they sold their spot pretty quickly. I never saw like too much for and Optic just dissolved as an organization from everything.
yeah.
But yeah, it's super blowout by G2, by the way. Caps is Renekton, disgusting. It's really good into Aurelia. It's a huge counter pick. 9-1-2. Yanko's on the probably the best jungler in the game at the moment with Silas. You don't want to give him the best jungler in the game. Wonder on split push. Nico is just gonna just completely smashed. So as on the Vlad, he had no shot. Just all around, just Twerk's also dominating on the bot lane with the Yumi Vayne, which I don't think really should win against Sivir Nautilus. But I guess when the rest of your map is getting smashed, as you can see, Cap's got nearly a double kill. It wasn't a double kill at the time, I don't believe, but he picked up 2 kills up top. And then he got another kill, a solo kill, and then I think he got a kill on Aurelia, and then got a double teleport up top, killed Vlad, and then killed Aurelia again, and then like it was ugly. It was so ugly.
Wasn't even close.
It wasn't. It really wasn't. Next was Origin versus Excel. Excel threw this game. Origin looked terrible in this game, especially because Excel frankly didn't look that good. Mickey was making some very questionable plays. Expect was probably the worst Mordekaiser I've ever seen in my life, and it was not his fault necessarily. That's a disgusting counterpick. Mordekaiser has a really big issue with getting kited. He's very easy to kite, just kind of like original Mordekaiser as well. But that happened with that Vayne for Alfari was just it was like hell watching that, especially as top lane. Like you hate seeing Vayne top because of this is what all the solo queue games look like. You're just playing your nice little like bruiser slash tank, and you can't even reach her, and she gets like 6 shots off on you. She tumbles away. She condemns you back. You can't touch her. You just cannot. You just accept your fate that you're gonna die, and
You
that's
get up close to her, she ults and goes invisible.
yeah. Expect had 3.6k damage to champions this game.
Not very good.
No, not very good at all. And that's why it was so surprising that Excel was winning this game. Like they weren't doing much. They were just Origin was just not playing well at all until they finally picked up that late game for Nuke Duck. I mean, Alfari was playing really well on the sideline, but like the rest of the team was doing nothing. And Alfari finally got the kill with the. We got a bunch of kills with and went 8-1. They took the Baron. They took
Nuke Duck.
yeah Nuke Duck. Sorry, not Alfari. Yes, just they just waited for that late game Ash, late game Nazir, and late game Vayne, and then everything worked out okay, especially into early game Olaf and stuff. But I know they don't have the early game matchups like that, but it was still very sloppy by Origin, to be fair. Because, like I said, except like when the enemy top laner and jungler got out damaged by a Rakan support on the same team. Rakan support on XL did this third most damage on the team, with 6.9k. So yeah,
Nice.
their Olaf and their Mordekaiser did a combined 9.2k. They didn't even their top and jungler didn't even combine for 10k in a 40-minute match. 40 minutes. It wasn't like a 20-minute match. 40 minutes. That is how much damage per That's very easy math, I would think. 40 minutes.
Well, with 3.9k, that's less than like.
Yeah, I'm just saying like they were averaging 230 damage a minute combined. Like your jungler and your top laner. That's yikes. Like abilities do 230 damage. They just weren't even getting those off. It was ugly, very ugly, and that's why it wasn't like a blowout. That's why it was not a good win by Excel or by Origin. But a win is a win at the end of the day. Next game was Fnatic versus Vitality. Vitality, ugh, they had a terrible, terrible game. This like Jizuke 0-5 on the Azir. Nemesis just popped off on the Corki 8-0-6.
Roxas Lee Sin.
Brox's Lee Sin,
Love
disgusting.
seeing it.
Yeah, so good. Broxa still arguably MVP of the split at the moment for me. Mowgli just didn't really play too well on the Jarvan. Cabochard, I mean, you can't necessarily blame him as well. All of his lanes lost, including the Lucian Yumi, who should never lose lane. They lost to the Reckless Hillsing bot lane of Zayak Rakan, I should say. And then like Karma, just it was all bad. There was a lot of blowout games this week, a lot of upsets too. This one was not an upset, but it was a blowout. This game, not a blowout, but it was an upset. Excel wins their first game of the year.
Yay,
They
Excel.
finally won a game, and I thought that it was just a sloppy. SK secured the Mountain Drake and then went to engage, but like only half of them went to engage. And they had to burn flashes to get out, but it cost them 3 lives. And this life right here, it says Kadril killed Crown Shout. No, that was all Mystiques. Mystiques ran all the way under between 2 towers and just on the Tom Kench just started licking Crown Shot to death, and it just. That's the worst position to be early game with an ADC, is you know that the enemy support can easily 1v1 you if it's Tom Kench. Like, easily. And he basically did. He knocked him all the way down to like 10 HP, and then Kadril comes over with the EQ over the wall and like just smite and like autos it and kills him. Like, you should have just gave it to your support. I think Mystiques is handing it over, but like in that situation, if it's 100 health to 0 and you just casually soloed him, I feel like you should get that kill.
Yeah. Also, I love how Pyrian, who has been kind of underwhelming, he's the best performer on his team, at least kills wise,
Mm-hmm.
and they lose.
Yeah, yeah, he didn't die this game. There's only
Yeah.
6 kills on both sides, to be fair, and 3 of them happened for which is the weirdest thing. Excel got half their kills before the 9-minute mark, and it was only 3. like, like, that's not great. But again, SK played terrible, and Excel capitalized with objectives. And you know what? You don't need kills if you're gonna get objectives, and especially towards the very end. And you're like, oh wait, SK got 4 kills. Like,
What was the game time on this one?
30 minutes basically.
Wow.
66, and four of SK's kills came at the very end because while they were busy, they took a desperate Baron because they were losing everything. As you can see down here, they were losing all of the objectives. They took a desperate Baron, were able to secure it, but then they all of Excel suicided, so Mickey could split push and backdoor via bot lane, and he was able to be successful with it. I do have questions about Crown Shot and just SK as a team. After they took the Baron, they ran through here, and then they ran up, and they all ran as a team to like right here, so they all got stopped. Personally, I know this is nitpicking, but I always feel like if you're getting backdoored like that, you should split up in my opinion. I know it's might be the riskier play, but like especially when the enemy didn't necessarily have vision at you for like core minute or core seconds, like right around here and here. If you have like one person back here, one person split and back in here, and then the other three just like trying to either back or like one splitting or one here and then two back here. You got to get people back to your base. You can't just let it happen. We pretty much. It's hard to explain without seeing it, but they pretty much stayed as a group and then like got engaged on as a group where everyone could attack everyone because they were all right next to each other. Where if you would have put people a little further back or split them up a little bit, I think you could have gotten at like Pyrian out or Crown Shot, and just one of them, all they had to do is go clear the way for Corki because Corki still had to take a tower and inhib and two Nexus towers as well. So it's not like he was just walking up to a free Nexus.
Yeah. It was no XPK,
No.
but yeah, he just won the game off of bad decision.
hmm I didn't mind the Baron goal in the first place. I just think that they did a poor job trying to back with it.
Yep.
Uh, Next was Misfits versus Vitality. Misfits won, and I don't like. Or sorry, Vitality won, and I'm worried that I'm building a little bit of confidence in Vitality, but it's kind of stifled with how bad they played in the previous game of against what's their face? Oh, Fnatic,
Fanatic.
which is a tough match. Which is a tough match. But like I'm a little worried that it might just be that Misfits is this bad. You know?
I think it's a little both.
A little both.
I Yeah, spoiler for my power rankings. I still have Fnatic first. They beat G2. They lost to Splice, who's a solid team, and you expect Splice to get some like upsets because they're good, but I don't think Vitality, even if they are a playoff team in sixth place or maybe they squeak fifth, probably not. But I don't think they win a series in playoffs anyway. But depends who they play, I guess. But
Yeah, that is true. They're one of those last teams squeaking in and then
yeah,
not doing
they're
much.
with EU's new format, they're not getting to the final three teams.
Oh no, no way.
No chance.
They would take a miracle.
Yeah.
Speaking of miracles a bit, Rogue smashed Origin. This is why I'm a little worried. I don't know if I should be too worried about Origin, but like this is like a little bit of a red flag where they played so sloppy against Excel, and Excel wasn't even playing very well, and then they just get smashed by Rogue, causing, I believe, the Splice coach to say that Rogue can beat TSM. I don't know about that necessarily because
No.
no, it's best of ones, and people overact the best of ones. I think a lot more than they should, and I'm probably guilty of the same for a few of them. But hang on one sec. No, okay, never mind. But I had I did not have Rogue winning. I had Rogue winning the other game, but I had Rogue or Brock had Rogue winning this game, and he had Larson just popped off in Azir. It's so weird to see Azir like firmly back in the meta. Like, it seems like a weird champion to me to be back in the meta. He didn't really get buffed too much to my knowledge, but
I
like,
think it's just one of those pro picks that kind of like always works well with pros because it's a really mechanical champion. It's a late game hyper carry. So
yeah, you're right.
it's like I'm trying to think like
Rise,
Draven or Rise. Yeah, I was thinking like Draven for 80 carries. Like if you get ahead, you win, even if he's not like in the meta, just because his damage is insane. Or
yeah.
Jinx.
Jinx is also it's a good one. Jinx snowballs, she just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Next, we had G2 versus SO4. SO4 I thought put up a decent fight early. As you can see, they got first blood. They picked up another kill, and like they believe it was 3-1. And then this was a 2 for 3, so it wasn't like there's a lot of fighting in this game. As you could tell, it was 22-13, and you had caps on Talon, and it was just disgusting again. So he played Renekton and Talon this week, and won on both of them, looking really really good. Yanko's on the Silas again. You cannot let Yankos get the Silas. You can't let G2 as a team get Silas, but especially now Yankos, which is weird to say that you don't want Caps or Wonder on Silas. You want Yankos on Silas because of just how good of a jungler he is. Uh, SO4, kind of. I like the team comp, honestly. I can't really fault anything with it. They lost in 31 minutes, though, but like you have the Azir and the Jinx, and you have the Xin Zhao to make that bridge for Azir and Jinx to get to late game. So I didn't have any problems with that. You have Otawame on Nico. I was like, is who the heck is that? I don't know. Like I blanked on her name, but yeah, you had him Nico. So he was playing team fight Nico as well with the ability power. So you had the stuns. You had a lot of good stuff here. And Tom Kench for safety. I didn't have a problem with the draft. It was just the execution. And again, it's just really tough to execute against G2 because once they start rolling, as you could tell, the team fights were going back and forth until they weren't. And now all of a sudden G2's picking up 2 kills for every 1 kill of SO4 is getting, and then obviously they're just securing objective after objective to win the game.
Yeah. I think I didn't think I mean Trick had a lot of deaths.
Trick
I
had
don't
a
think it
lot
was
of
necessarily like a bad game from a lot of the uh, SO4 members. I just think they played a much better team.
yeah, yeah. Next game was game of the week. Was very thrilling to watch of Splice versus Fnatic. 42-minute game. Fnatic finally lost their first game of the year with I wouldn't even say necessarily it was a poor performance. I think Bwipo got caught out quite a bit, to be honest. That would be my only.
They got
They
cheesed. No,
got
I'm kidding.
the,
They don't. They didn't know what Kiana does.
dude.
Like,
I still do not know how Kiana does so much, and like I don't know what she does. I'm confused all the time.
is she AD? Is she AP? She looks AP, but
She
oh,
looks
she's AD.
AP, but
Like,
she's
yeah,
AD. Yep, yep. She uses like the elements, and then like it's all 80 damage. What?
yeah,
So weird. And then you have AD Twisted Fate going against it. The big counter to Kiana. To be fair, you just ult and you can see her, and then you can just stun her and kite her away with the AD Twisted Fate with the extra rapid fire cannon. And I believe Nemesis actually got a solo kill on her, towards the yeah, it was right here. They lost Baron because of it, because Whipple got caught, and they lost a lot of people before. Maybe that wasn't it. That doesn't sound right.
yeah. I
At some
like the.
point, at
I
some
like
point.
the. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say at some point Nemesis was able to solo kill humanoid. I remember in the side lane. And I was like, yeah, that's AD Twisted Fate. Get that stun card from 30 feet away, then use your Q, and then just start flinging cards at them. It just burns their health. It's so nice.
Yeah, I like the rapid fire cannon on him. The Rage Blade isn't bad, but if you had a Spear of Sojin instead, he'd be pulling pick a cards way more, giving mana to your team. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, wrong game, wrong
Wrong
game.
game, wrong game. All these, 3 of the items are in the game. Teamfight tactics. Brian's been popping off of teamfight tactics. Well, we're both going challenger, so
Yep.
we're going to have a teamfight tactics podcast soon once we get some proof that we're good.
Yeah, I'd finished my placements today. I had a third place, a fourth place, an eighth place due to a DC, and 2 first place.
Nice,
So I got placed
nice.
all the way into the high tier of bronze 4.
Hey, that's pretty high for 5 placement games when you start in
I
Iron
know.
4. That's the rough part, man. They make us all start in Iron 4. Like, the client, this is the first time I've ever been bronze in my life. I've ruined my streak now.
William, you were iron.
I know. I know. I was always proud to say on all 3 of my accounts I've made, ever since I very first started rank, I never went under silver 4. Actually, I was never even silver 5. I was never under silver 4. like that was where I started on my very first account, and then like I was always around there or up. Now I haven't moved much from plat now. I've been in plat for 3 years.
Would you say you plateaued? Woo! You set me up for that one.
Anyway, let's talk about the game. Just constant, like back and forth team fights. But this one was all splice early on, and Fnatic was doing the C9 strategy against TSM. Just make a little pick here, a little pick there, and like kind of make it work to try and claw back into the game. As you can tell, they actually even had a 4K gold lead until they got caught and they all died, and Baron, and then another, and then like with this team with the Baron buff was able to take 2 towers, and then Fnatic was pretty much on the defensive the entire time after that, and then you had another Baron, another kill, another 2 kills, and then a bajillion towers and inhibs. And then they backed off though. They did back off after that to get the Elder Drake. And then they got picked again, as you can see here. So there's only one pick, so nothing happened until unfortunately, Whipple got caught in a bush. Whipple got caught like 4 times this game. Like this was one of his rough Whipple games. It was like 4 or 5 different times where he was caught either in a side lane or in a bush because of fantastic warding by Norskeren. He's always keeping those wards up. And they thought the bush was clear, but it wasn't.
Vision wins games.
It does. 69 wards. Nice.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it was a very good win for Splice. Splice and Fnatic's first loss. So Splice is arguably trying to fight for that top spot in EU, which is kind of weird to say. But with that, let's go to our predictions, or our power rankings. Brock's aren't updated right now, but I will get his after the podcast, unless he gave me them. He might have given me them. Oh yeah, he did. Woo! From picks to win. Oh no, that's his picks. Never mind, that's not his power rankings. Never mind. He gave me his picks though, so we'll talk about those then. I have G2. Brock's aren't updated, so I'm just gonna delete them. And then
SO4 for me twice.
Do I? Whoopsies.
Yeah.
Who did I put? Origin.
Yeah.
I forgot that I changed it for you at the beginning, right before we started the podcast, and I forgot to put Origin back in. I'm actually gonna do this too. I'm gonna change that up. But yes, I think that G2 is the best team in EU. It's kind of like the same thing as Team Liquid, where I know they lost to Fnatic, but I just feel like G2's better. And Fnatic with their loss against Splice, and G2 coming off 2 very dominant performances, I just had to move them up.
I have to say something. You also spelled Origin.
Did I spell it wrong?
It's a Gen.
Gen. Whoopsies.
I
always put OG, so I was just trying to change it up, and we're going back to OG because I'm a terrible speller. I'm gonna count it. So I spell things wrong all the time. But yes, why do you have Fnatic first after their loss to this place?
I think they lost to a good team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they looked horrible in the loss. I thought their win this week was good, and they've beaten G2.
Yep.
So when they play again, or if Fnatic drops more games and G2 keeps looking dominant, I think G2 looked way better than Fnatic this week because they had 2 amazing wins.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
It's
Fnatic,
tough. It is tough.
Yeah, Fnatic beat them. I'm sure G2 is a better team. We saw them internationally. Fnatic did make Worlds semifinals, but they had caps.
Finals.
World Finals, yeah, you know what I mean. But they had caps.
You forgot.
I'm an NA fan, so
you forgot after they destroyed Cloud9 in the semifinals, they went to the finals. They did get smashed in the finals to IG, but so I think Fnatic fans almost want to forget that as well. But
I am not a Fnatic fan.
But yes,
never call me. Yeah.
You are a Fnatic fan because you have number one.
I'm a fanatic. That's what they call their fans.
Yeah, it is. It is, but it was still a pun. You still made it sound like a pun. It was
not.
You made it sound like a pun. Anyway, I have Fnatic number 2.
If I said I'm a fanatic, then sure.
Okay. I have Fnatic number 2. You have G2 number 2. Same thing. They're very close. It's very, very close. I think G2 is slightly the better team. That's why I got to put them up, but it's not. I can see the argument because Fnatic has beaten them in their same record. It makes sense.
Yeah. No, I think G2 is a better team, like overall, but it's kind of the head-to-head.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta give Fnatic the respect now.
Mm-hmm. Feels dirty not moving up Splice after beating Fnatic and having just 2 dominant wins, but it was almost like I look at it as this way. It looks like they didn't move at all, but they were. If I'm gonna use my hands for this one, you had first and second right here. You had 3rd place here. 3rd place, you're still 3rd place, but you're like right here now. So
yeah. No, I completely
Like,
agree.
so they've moved up. It's just not visible. they've moved up in my mind, but it's not visible that they moved up.
They gained a bunch of LP, but
Yeah.
they're still not higher than the other teams.
Yes, exactly. Like now it's at the point where if Splice goes 2-0 this week and Fnatic just goes 1-1, I'll probably move Splice above Fnatic now. Where
I
before
probably would too.
I wouldn't. Like I'd be like, oh, they're 1-1, but they're still better than Splice. Now I can't say that if Splice goes 2-0.
If
As
Splice goes 2-0, might be throwing them up top.
Oh, aren't they facing G2 this week?
Yeah, they do play
Yeah,
G.
so they're definitely going number one if they're going 2-0. There's no question. Next we had SO4. We both had SO4. We dropped Origin. I think we'll talk about both of these. SO4 went 1-1 this week, though they looked pretty decent for a time against G2, which is all you can really ask, you know. And
Yeah.
then they beat Rogue in that they beat Rogue pretty dominantly. The reason why I wanted so they had a good week, or okay week, but they kind of move up by default because I had Origin lost to Excel, or beat Excel, sorry, but they should have kind of lost to Excel in my opinion, and then they did lose to Rogue. So like those were two teams that really shouldn't have been that difficult for a team like or Origin to beat, but it really was a very strugglesome like 1-1
Yeah.
week. So I felt like I needed to punish them a little bit for that. So I dropped them on the fifth, and SO4 is the benefactor of that, or beneficiary.
I think it both works.
Yeah. Uh, I have Rogue actually at number six, which also sounds kind of crazy considering they did beat Origin, but they lost to SO4 as well. So they only had a 1-1 week, but they've skyrocketed for me just because it might just be hype, really, that I'm kind of excited about this team a lot. And they just look good in their games, and they look dominant in that game against Origin. So I just couldn't. Vitality looked really bad against Fnatic, but they look good against Misfits, and that's a much worse opponent than Origin, in my opinion. So that's why
Yeah,
Vitality moved from 8 to 7, and Rogue moved from 9 to 6. Like,
I think the reason in my head I have Vitality instead of Rogue,
mhm,
and I mean SK may have been also an oversight, but I kind of like SK. I
mhm,
think Pyrian's really good, even though he hasn't played great all split. But he had a good game, even though they got smashed. Well, not really smashed, but
but they lost
they got completely outplayed on the map.
by Excel.
But by Excel, yes. But I think their win against Vitality's win against SK when SK wasn't looking like they are now, I think hyped them up a little for me. So that's why I have them at 6.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's not bad. I mean, it's not too bad. I
Yeah,
also have Vitality at number 7, so I don't have them too far off of you, and
yeah.
I have them above SK because they did win the head-to-head, and I had to drop SK. If you lose a game to Excel, it's like losing Excel, Jin Air, like
It'd be
apparently
like Team
Flash
Liquid
Wolves.
losing to like Echo
Yeah,
Fox or
that'd
something.
be terrible, especially or even like Cloud9 loses to Echo Fox, man.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be
couldn't
terrible.
even imagine.
Yeah, that'd be the worst. Honestly, now I think about it, Echo Fox almost really did beat CLG as well. So that'd been like the top three teams would have been Echo Fox's wins, like because they got really close to beating you guys as well.
Didn't they beat like Optic 2 or something?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, who at the time I think
Yeah,
was like a higher rated.
yeah, they're just crushing the teams at the top, but they suck. I guess maybe they just don't respect them. It's honestly could be it. Definitely
Gotta
was
be.
it in the Team Liquid game. But yeah, this is EU, Brian, EU. I have SK number 8 because of that. They just not great. Did SK go 0-2 this week? They lost their both games, right?
I can check really fast.
Yes, they did.
They lost. Yeah, they
They did.
lost to Excel and Splice.
Yes, yes. So the Splice game as well. I was gonna say I totally forgot, but yeah, they 0-2 with a loss to Excel is not great. I actually moved Excel up and I changed. I got to make that more consistent. But I had Excel up to number 9. Just with the Misfits, I probably wouldn't have done this if Misfits, even if they would have went 2-0, but just or 0-2. But the fact that they had like Soas tweeting that he's basically done with the team, Gorilla leaving, I'm like, well, when you have that kind of just blow up at the end of week 4 of a 9-week season, it's a really bad sign for the organization as a whole.
Yeah, I made my power rankings before you told me that,
Yeah,
so I can see it.
you could change
And
it. You could change it if you want.
yeah, go ahead. Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah, yeah. It's more so like not only did they go 0-2 again, and I mean, Excel's only one game worse than them, so it's not like that big a deal to move them above them. But like Excel's win is also against SK, where Misfits wins are against Excel and Rogue, right?
They don't play. Misfits wins are against. Scroll really fast. Not a lot of Misfits lit up on the thing. They beat Excel and Rogue. Yep, you're
Yes.
right.
So it's two towards the bottom teams. I think the Rogue win looks better now, but they did it when Rogue was struggling as well. So it just when you lose your whole organization, like all faith in the organization has to be gone now, like completely.
I love how much faith we have in like Rogue. We're like, oh, they're completely turned around because they're 3-5.
Yeah.
Considering I think they won 3 games last split,
Yeah. Yeah. I
and it
mean,
was like all at the end. Oh, they won 2 games. Sorry, they've
yeah.
already
So,
done
so
better.
they've already done better. I mean, they look relevant in their games where they just didn't even look close in any of their
It's
games.
not it's not that free win, and if you pick it wrong, you're like, what the hell, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, with that, let's do our predictions for the
What
week.
time are we at right now? Podcast.
35 minutes.
Oh, not too bad.
Yeah, yeah. All right, predictions. I'm gonna go here. Celebration. Oh, now I have this. Let's go here. Nope. And okay. So let's do summer season. So what's the first game? Do you have that up? Because I'm still scrolling.
I
Okay.
do.
It's Misfits versus Place.
Yes.
This game is Misfits backups, by the way. It's Misfits Academy team versus Splice. That's gonna be Splice.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Splice as well.
Yeah.
I also love how I did try when Misfits played G2 to compare them to give them.
Oh yeah,
it out.
you're not even gonna do it anymore.
Nope.
Nope.
Not worth wasting my breath.
My brother just came in and gave me free popcorn. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. Hey Matt.
He left already.
Well, I said hey to him so when he watches this, because I know he watches.
Yeah. Mhm. He's a big league fan outside of C9. Anyway, next game is gonna and Brock also had Splice, by the way. That's not even gonna be that's not gonna be a competition unless Misfits
if
Academy
it's
is like
close,
playing hard, like their heart out, because like no one believes in
hey,
them.
the scouting report, they've been playing against worse opponents. I don't even know the record of Misfits Academy. If they're like smashing Academy, I don't know how EU Academy even works. If they still do the weird like regional leagues, you know,
I think they do.
they do.
Yeah, they're like the
I'm gonna.
Poland League, German League, Spanish
I
League.
know Spanish is a good one.
But yeah, they're not gonna win. I'll be shocked. But to be
Yeah,
fair, I was
I
shocked
would
with
be
a few
absolutely
few
shocked.
few upsets this week already. Maybe it'll happen again. Next is Vitality versus SO4. I personally have SO4 in this game. I don't. I'm. Vitality still scares me. They don't look very clean, like at all. It doesn't feel like they've cleaned up too much. When does Origin play, Mr. Ryan? Oh, it's Ryan. Yeah.
Hey Ryan.
Hey. But yeah, we have SO4, and I really think I have SO4, and I really think that Vitality is going to lose hard to them. I can't say get exposed because they've been playing bad all year, all split, but they look a little better right now. But that's only really because of who they've been facing, in my opinion. Excel,
Yeah.
Misfits, and SK.
Yeah. Who did SO4
My
play
8,
last
9,
week?
and 10 teams, by the way.
Two. They played, but SO4 played G2 and Rogue, and I think they did look better. But SO4's last games, they lost to Origin, who I think looked bad, and they beat Misfits. I'm actually gonna give it to Vitality.
Ooh, the
I
upset.
think I think upset is good. I think I actually was saying the wrong name, so but it worked out because his name is not never mind. But I think Attila has like
Oh.
rebounded from his mental boom early on. Maybe not rebounded, but he's climbing out of the pit
Mm-hmm.
of misery. So I don't know. I think he'll be able to go. I think SO4 kind of is like upsets team. I think they're okay. Abadage is okay. Who's there? Odoamne is solid, but like I think Cabashard's way better. Mowgli and Trick, it kind of depends.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. So we'll
Give
see.
one of them a lease. They're both good on a lease. But honestly, the thing that worries me is pretty much the last happy memory for Vitality was Mental Booming upset, Attila Mental Booming upset last split, and just sending SF4 into a spiral. Then after that, Vitality kind of went into a spiral themselves, but so they both sucked. But
Yeah.
since then, Vitality has not looked well. But Brian, you're not the only one. Brock also picked Vitality this week.
You know what happens, Will?
I know that happens, and also Brock's 9-1, 8. The worst is his worst week to split is 8-2. So
That
anytime
makes
I'm
me
different
so
than
much
him,
more confident. I don't
I,
know why. It shouldn't.
yeah, especially because I don't even think Brock's had time to watch games this split like at all for most of the games. So like, he just see if you don't
Maybe
watch, you don't pay attention, you're just gonna get the picks right apparently.
to be fair, we do these EU podcasts like the day before they play,
Hmm.
and we've had a week gap where I'm, believe it or not keeping up with the EU games that I've already watched. So I don't remember the games that well.
Yeah,
So
EU's the one that gets screwed by timing. On
yeah,
all the other ones we do pretty much right away.
maybe the strat is just pick who you want to win in EU, and just pick the top teams, and then for the games that you're not sure, just pick whoever.
Pick the favorite, and you're good.
Yeah.
They'll get you some wins, a lot of wins usually.
Yep.
Next, G2 versus Excel. If you don't pick the favorite here, yeah, that's on. I'm
Right.
forcing the hand, forcing the G2
So
picks.
let's break this down.
We're
No, I'm kidding.
forcing the G2 picks.
G2.
Origin versus SK. Both these teams floundered quite a bit last week. Which one do you think recovers?
You know, who does Brock have? No, I'm kidding. I'll do it before I know his pick. Let me check one more time who they played because I know they both didn't look good. Origin
I'm
lost to
while you're doing
Rogue.
that, I'm going Origin because I think that I said at the beginning of the split I thought the SK a little bit of a one-trick pony. I know you like Pyrian, but like you said,
He replaced Faker.
yeah, but he's struggling this split. He struggled quite a few
No,
splits.
I just remember P1 period. He was the star of that great team that made it to Rift Rivals.
But I just think that I
Wasn't
have a
there?
lot more faith in Origin than I do in SK. I even said at the beginning of the split that I thought SK was going to be the eighth place team. I started out terribly with how hot they started, but now they've fallen back. I'm like, okay, I'm looking smart in that prediction still. But
No, I'm going Origin just because their map play looks so bad, like abysmal bad.
yeah, and
Yeah,
that's something they can fix because they've been a good smart team.
I was talking about SK's
Oh,
map play look bad,
well, Origin.
like actually horrible.
Yeah,
So
okay, yeah, that's something that I trust Origin to fix their map play more than SK's map play.
yeah, me too.
Brock doesn't though. Brock has SK in the upset.
I hope it happens.
Next, we had Fnatic versus Rogue. Fnatic is not starting Reckless.
I can see why though.
Yeah,
They're playing against Rogue, which not a gimme anymore. But they're also playing against SK. So this is a good week against obviously weaker opponents to either rest Reckless if he's like feeling fatigued, or like maybe he's pulling an Uzi. Just I don't want to play.
I don't want to play it now.
Yeah.
We have
At
breaking
least he's
news, by
not
the way,
benching himself. Oh, what is that?
that Ryan has made his predictions in the chat. I decided to add him to the EU one. he's got
Oh shit.
he's got
He's got Misfits Academy.
nope, he did not. He took Splice, SO4 against Vitality, G2, and Origin over SK. So now he has Fnatic. I also have Fnatic. I just spit popcorn. I'm sorry. I think
Yeah,
that
I have Fnatic.
I like Rogue a lot. I think Broxah is just going to be way too much for them to handle, even without Reckless.
My
Next,
thing
oh,
about the like Misfits benching is I think Kirei, is that the jungler?
hmm He better than
Yeah,
Maxwell.
I think he's really good. I think he is better than Maxwell right now. I
Maxwell
think
has fallen off a cliff the last year.
they've just talked him up way too much. I never thought he was like elite. I thought he was good, solid,
Hmm.
but
He
I never
he
thought he
should
was
have
like,
been elite with the team he had around him. At least like
yeah,
he could have been covered very well, but
yeah.
it looked even worse. But yeah, next we have Excel versus SO4. Excel got their first win. I don't trust them to win any more games, so I still can't pick them at all.
I mean, I think there are games you can pick them like next week, but
I haven't
you,
checked.
they play Misfits, but
Possibly
depends who they're playing. Yeah, but
Misfits and Rogue winnable games.
yeah, this is a winnable game, but I think Rogue has looked a lot better.
SO4, SO4.
SO4. Oh, I'm looking.
You're looking at week 6.
Yeah, I am. Okay, I'm going SO4.
Brock is also going SO4. However, Ryan has Excel. He's bought into the Mickey hype train.
That's a bad move.
It's very
He's not
bad.
playing talent. Not playing talent jungle mid.
I don't trust Excel either. I just think there was a terrible, terrible game by
They did look like they knew how to move around the map.
That was the first time all season they've looked like they knew how to move around the map, though. So I expect people that are probably challenger to be able to learn how to know how to move around the map on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Just because you do it once doesn't. I need to see it more than once. It's pretty much the first time since the end of Spring Split when they went on that little hot streak at the end.
Yeah.
Just like us, Echo Fox. Anyway, Misfits versus Rogue. This one, it's winnable. It's winnable for Misfits Academy. I don't think they're gonna win it.
That's what I'm saying. Ryan picked Misfits Academy. Didn't read the chat.
Oh, listen. I didn't want to spoil myself with his predictions. I only read one at a time.
I just look at it and I can kind of read every team in my peripherals, William.
Shut up.
I see Misfits Academy.
I didn't pay that hard attention to it, I guess. I'm just doing one at a time. Anyway, I have Rogue. I think that, and Brock also has Rogue. I haven't watched Misfits Academy, and they're the Academy team to this Misfits team. Ugh. I don't know. They could be better. I don't have enough experience there. I'm gonna play it safe and go Rogue.
Yeah, I mean, I would go Rogue probably anyway over Misfits starting roster right now.
Yeah,
so
me
I'm
too.
Gonna go Rogue.
I'm not gonna lie. A. I put Misfits A for
Misfits A.
So Ryan is telling me that for people watching on YouTube that Ryan is a complete expert and he's watched every single EU game and he's expecting all of his picks to be 100% correct. That's exactly.
Ryan actually, he just in another message, he just said he applied to be an EU caster and he made it to the second round, but he barely missed out to what's this called, Medic. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
Medic and Ender
yeah.
took the spots. So unfortunate.
Next game, what he actually says, he knows next to nothing about EU, but has not watched any games. Anyway, moving on to Origin versus Vitality. I think this is the perfect week for Origin. Terrible week last week. Terrible. They can bounce back. They can absolutely bounce back with a game against SK, a game against Vitality. These are two very winnable games. I think they will win both of them. I think it was just maybe shaking off some rust from Rift Rivals. I don't know. They did have that week off. But
this one is like, it depends who shows up. And I'm going to go Vitality again.
Oh, you're Vitality homer.
I don't know why. But I just feel, I believe in the Italian Stallion.
No.
He has to come back. He's good. We know he's good.
Well, we know he's good, but he hasn't played good in like 5 months. Like since like the last.
Yeah, I guess you can say Soaz is good. Maxlor, maybe. Febivin is historically good.
Yeah, so
it's
it's just like Misfits. They're all supposed to be good.
Yeah.
Brian,
Yeah.
you are safe.
I am safe.
Everyone else picked Vitality except for me.
Let's go.
So with the way my luck has been in these best of one series, it's a win for you guys. I think I've only won one or two when I'm different than everyone else. That's why I don't do upsets, man. My upsets are always wrong. Next is the game of the week. Could you say game of the? Nah. No, because we still have FPX versus IG this week, and that's bigger than this. I was wondering if you could say game of the week
Wait,
for all.
did you skip SK Fnatic?
No, Splice G2 is next, according to this.
Well,
SK
according
Fanatics.
to LOLesports.com, it's SK Fnatic, then Splice G2.
They like to change them. They like to change them. We're gonna go with SK and
The
Fnatic
official
because that's the
website.
official
Yeah.
website. We'll go with the official website, which is sometimes still wrong. But for this one, Fnatic easily. Like I don't believe in it. If
No.
SK's biggest strength is self-made by far, in my opinion, in their only big win condition, Broxa is better than self-made. And if he's taking out your only win condition, you kind of don't win games.
Yeah, I want to see I want to see Pyrion on a carry. I want to see him bring out the LeBlanc.
Okay, so you're picking SK.
No, I'm picking Fnatic.
All right. Ryan also has Fnatic. Brock, the Fnatic Homer, has SK.
That's
I was-
okay. He's just trying to not have a perfect week or something.
You don't know that. He's crushing it. He's picking
That's-
Rogue correctly in like every time.
I'm gonna eat my words because I've said it before. He's trolling. Like he's done this before.
It's worked so well this year for you. And honestly, I know he's doing pretty well as well. But yeah, he picked SK over Fnatic. I don't know why, but he has it. And they watch Reckless be a very big part. He is a very big part of Fnatic. Watch him be big enough that Rogue or SK can't take him down or can take him down. And this guy's 200 IQ. Dude, C9 got deathly, man. If Sneaky freaking retires, we're never gonna hear the end of it from Brock.
If Sneaky retires, our joke about Ryan applying to be a caster, Brock should just become a team analyst.
Like
For
seriously,
somebody. For someone.
if you haven't listened to any podcast, Brock said in like week 1 of Spring Split that Sneaky was gonna retire this year.
And become a full-time streamer.
Uh-huh.
And now they have a solid, I'm not going to say as good, but a very solid 80 carry replacement.
I know. I saw the news that definitely to C9. I'm just like, no. Like, great trade, I think, for C9. To be fair, definitely is much better than Keith, in my opinion. Much more potential.
I actually think Keith has been improving, like on C9 Academy.
Yeah.
I don't keep up with Academy, but just from what I've heard from their players, like talking and like interviews and stuff,
Mhm.
I think I don't remember who, but I think it was Blabber talking about Academy team, how everyone's like loves just playing for C9.
Mhm. Well, that's what I think.
So-
Definitely has a lot of raw talent that I think C9's really good at making good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But anyway,
if Brock is right about that, will never hear the end of it.
we really will.
We will not. He will bring it up every single podcast. And rightfully so, man. That's an amazing out of nowhere prediction. All right. Game number 10, G2 versus Splice. Game of the week. Maybe that's why they moved it back. They were like, let's get to prime time. Last game on a Saturday. Who do you got?
I have G2.
So do I. I like Splice a lot. They play that team fight style that I love. But unfortunately, G2 is very good at team fighting. And I don't know. I don't think I can see Splice winning a chaos. I think G2 makes it too chaotic for Splice to play their controlled style.
Yeah. I mean, just like it's G2.
Mm-hmm.
They went to Rift Rivals and lost to Liquid. But like they beat Liquid very convincingly at MSI. So
a little bit
they
more
are
important tournament.
a little bit more. Very minor, maybe. But yeah, It's hard to pick against G2. Even when they lost to Fnatic, I did pick that upset, didn't I?
No.
I didn't, but I
No.
had Fnatic first and they won. I did pick that.
Nope. Brock did.
I didn't believe myself. What'd you get for doubting yourself, children? But always believe.
Brock's ascended to godhood in predictions apparently and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be the podcast. That's all of our predictions. Oh, Brian picks place, by the way. Not
No,
Brian.
I didn't.
Ryan
Oh, Ryan picked
picks place.
Splice.
I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't right. Ryan picks place, but
You
that.
know, I hope it happens. I hope it happens. Splice has been the gatekeeper for years.
Mm-hmm.
They've never had their shot like in the spotlight. I think they like had one split back when where like they were like, this is the squad. And I think that's when Vitality's coach, Yamato Cannon, coached them, and that's how he kind of got his name, like as a good coach on Splice. But I think it's been too long for Splice. It's kind of how CLG needs to just turn it around, not in 7 in whatever again. But
Would you cry?
we need our. Would I cry? No. Would I be filled with? I don't even know
Depression.
what emotion. It's not even depression. At that point.
Worse than depression.
I would be so jaded by it. I don't even know.
Just finished the year 0-8 after such a promising start. Miss playoffs. Well,
Okay, even if they have one win more than last split, I know we're getting off topic.
That's all you
but
need.
Again, yeah, they get one more win. I can just imagine Weldon in a meeting be like, we really improved this year, and all the players just being like, shut the fuck up.
We'll talk about that on Monday. Hopefully for your sake, CLG wins at least one game.
They have to.
But thank you guys for coming to watch. We'll have the Wildcard podcast tomorrow.
The Wildcard podcast.
And then we will be doing.
This is EU.
And then we will be doing some TFT streams all this weekend, probably between me and Brian as well, because we're going to be going all the way to Challenger. So come join us for that. It'll be nice, fun, and possibly relaxing, depending on the RNG. And then with that, we'll see you there. So good night, guys.
Bye.